My name is Larry Olino, and I can tell you right now, I am so proud and happy to be gay today. I'm 73 years old, and it took a long time for me to get there. I think I'm very grateful to be able to tell my story. In fact, I'm the last one to do it, and the last day they're going to do it, so I'm very fortunate. I think a lot of younger gay people should know about what it was like growing up in the 50s and 60s. My parents were Catholic, so I grew up Catholic, and I think that the first time that I felt I was different is when I really fell in love with another teenager when I was in high school, and he was a drummer in my little group, and nothing ever happened between us, but his parents got a sense that there was something wrong with me. So they told my parents, and they sent me to a Catholic psychiatrist. And I told my thing, you know, all the sexual details. And after I was finished, a nurse or a lady came in and read the whole thing back to me. I was so embarrassed I could die, really. And as I grew up, you know, I always felt unsettled, you know. Something was wrong with me, and I always wanted to escape. I wanted to go somewhere else. And so I ended up going into the Army when I was 18. I just wanted to get, you know, I thought maybe the Army, I had to go anyway. They had the draft then. So I went in, and I had actually a very good time. I'm a musician, and I was able to play in a chorus in Germany, play for a chorus in Germany for like 2 years. And so I really had a nice time there, and nothing ever happened. Well, there was something that happened one time. They found, somebody told some of the upper echelons or whatever about that I was homosexual. And so I ran back to my own barracks, and I told the first sergeant, who actually happened to be gay, and he said, write it all down and put it in the safe. So I did that, and nothing ever happened from it. So anyhow, I was very lucky. And before that, I was working with the bass player at a little club in Monterey, and some very good friends came in to hear me, and they were fun people. And after I was finished, the owner came over and said, I'm sorry, we can't have people like that in here. You're fired. We have no protection, just no help. I mean, couldn't go to anybody and complain or whatever. And another time that happened when I was playing at a country club in Carmel a few years later. And there was a woman that was after me, and she didn't like it, but I didn't respond to her. So she told the owner of the country club that I was gay. I'm not sure what she said, but she told him, and he fired me the next day. So that was 3 times. And through my life, I had so much fear all the time that somebody was going to find out about me. I had no one to talk to. No, sure, I went to some gay bars, but, you know, it was so underground and secret. And I remember the first time I went to New York in '65. They had a purge on gays because of the World Fair in '64 and '65. And, you know, you couldn't get into a gay bar unless they knew who you were. And it was very difficult and very tough at that time. I'm just so grateful every day that I've had these experiences and could learn from them. And I'm hoping that the younger gay people of today can learn from them as well. Every time I see 2 gay guys or 2 gay women walking arm in arm and hand, I'm just so grateful for that. And I so wish that I could have done that, you know, when I was young. But I couldn't. I would have been beaten up, or we would have been arrested or something. I don't know what. We had no protection whatsoever. I have a friend who was in the Navy, in the 50s. And somebody found out that he was gay, and he told some of the upper echelons about it, and he was put in the brig and beaten up time and time again. And he had a dishonorable discharge, and he took years and years for him to straighten that out. So you see, he grew up with fear. I mean, it's just this horrible fear that stays with you. I mean, and you know, I wanted to be an actor, and being afraid of who I am and what I look like or whatever. That was a great profession to go into, because I'd get on a stage and I would just shake almost because I was so nervous and fearful. And I mean, I never did really anything. I couldn't do anything. And then I started playing the piano and working in different restaurants and clubs. And that worked out fine, you know. This was much later. I mean, after the whole series of being fired from jobs. And so I was in New York, and it was wonderful. I had a good time then. But we still had to be careful. Always be careful. Careful, 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 you know. And so, you know, I think that what happens too is when you're a kid, you start hating yourself because you're different. And it took me a long time not to hate myself, and to feel that I was accepted and wanted to be who I am. And it just feels so good today. Can't tell you. I'm just so happy to be who I am and where I am. I can't tell you enough. I'm just reading a couple of notes here. I had to write down something. Getting married. I got married 6 years ago, actually, 2008, when it first started. And I was so glad, you know, that we could actually get married. And and of course, even if we really didn't want to get married to each other, I mean, you know, sometimes people just don't. We wanted to do it to make a statement, particularly, that we were a couple and that, you know, it was okay. So anyway, I guess that's probably about all I want to say. And I hope that some people get something out of this. And anyway, I think that's probably about it for me. And I'm so grateful to be able to do this. And I hope somebody can learn from it and be grateful for who they are today. That's it.